Hello students, I'm here with the second video of the chapter Agriculture. This is the second video. First video we have already covered and this is the second video. The main topics that I'm going to cover in this video are cropping pattern, major crops of India, technological and institutional reforms. In the first video, I have covered the topics in the meaning of agriculture, various types of farming, and the India as an agricultural country. But in this video, I'm going to cover these 3 points: cropping pattern, major crops of India, technological and institutional reforms. So first of all, I'm going to explain you about the meaning of cropping pattern. Cropping pattern means the production of area under various crops at a point of time. If we see in India, we have 3 type of cropping pattern. Why India has 3 type of cropping pattern? Because the climatic condition of India has of 3 types. The seasons in India is of 3. India has a different type of climatic condition. So by these causes that India has a various type of climatic condition, the cropping pattern of India is divided into 3 parts: Kharif, Rabi and Jaid. So these are the 3 cropping pattern which are totally dependent according to the climate. First is the Kharif. So Kharif crops are sown at the time of onset of monsoon in the last week of June and the first week of July. These crops are sown and they are harvested in the month of September and October. And the major crops that come in this section are paddy, maize, jowar, bajra, cotton, jute, etc. The second type of cropping pattern is Rabi, and such type of crops are sown in the month of October and December and are harvested in the month of April and June. And the major crops that comes in this section are wheat, barley, peas, gram and mustard. And the third is the Jaid. It is a short season during the summer season, and this pattern comes between the Kharif and the Rabi cropping pattern. So in this type of cropping pattern, we find the watermelon, muskmelon and cucumber type of crops. So India has 3 type of cropping pattern: Kharif, Rabi and Jaid. And this cropping pattern is found in India only due to the different type of climatic condition, because agriculture always grow according to the climatic conditions. Next is the main crops of India. So if we look in India, the crops of India can be categorized into the 4 parts: food crops, cash crops, fiber crops and beverage crops. Food crops are those crops which are mainly grown for the human consumption, like rice, wheat, millets, pulses, etc. Cash crops, they are mainly grown for the sale purposes, for the commercial purposes. Fiber crops are those crops which are used for taking the fibers for making the paper, cloth, rope, etc. And the crops that comes in this section are cotton, jute and hemp. And the fourth one is the beverage crops. Beverage crops used for making a drink or a beverage like tea and coffee. So the crops of the India can be divided into these 4 categories. Some are food crops, some are cash crops, some are fiber crops and some are beverage crops. So here we can see a table, and this table is showing us the various crops of India, their temperature, rainfall, soil and the main states where they are grown. So number 1 is the rice. For the rice, we can say that it is the most important, the number 1 food crop of India, right? And the temperature which is required for the cultivation of rice is 25 degrees Celsius and rainfall is 100 centimeter, and the soil is alluvial soil. For the wheat, 21 to 24 degrees Celsius and 50 to 75 centimeter rainfall, and loam soil is useful for the cultivation of wheat. Now for the wheat we want to say one thing, that wheat is the second important crop of India. It comes after rice, but when we consider in India, wheat is the number one and rice is the second. Next is the cotton. Cotton is a fiber crops. It requires 21 to 37 degree Celsius of temperature, 60 to 100 centimeter rainfall, and the most important, for the cultivation of cotton, the most important soil is black soil. Fourth one is the jute. For the temperature, 24 degrees Celsius to 37 degrees Celsius temperature is required, 150 centimeter to 200 centimeter rainfall, and alluvial soil of good depth is most essential part of the cultivation of jute. Next is the sugar cane. For the sugar cane, rainfall should be 150 centimeter, temperature should be 20 degree to 26 degrees Celsius, and alluvial light clay soil is good for the cultivation of sugar cane. Next, last one is the maize. Again, temperature 18 degrees Celsius to 27 degrees Celsius temperature, rainfall 60 to 110 centimeter, and sandy loam soil is fit for the cultivation of maize. Now if you look at this major state where these crops are abundantly grown, for the rice, the most important states are West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, and Odisha. For wheat, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Bihar, and Gujarat. For the cultivation of cotton, the most important states are Gujarat, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Haryana, and Tamil Nadu. For the jute, West Bengal, Assam, Odisha, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Tripura, and Meghalaya, mainly the delta region of all these states. Now next is a sugarcane. For the sugarcane, the most important states, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu. And for the maize, that is Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Rajasthan, and Uttar Pradesh. These states have familiar about the cultivation of maize. Next important part is the technological and institutional reforms. Technological and institutional reforms means these are the inputs that our government use to help our agriculture and farmers for getting the better and best output. These are the efforts that government make to support our agricultural system. So the inputs that are using by the government, through which the government is helping the agricultural areas and the farmers, these inputs can be divided into two parts: technological and institutional reforms. Technological reforms and the institutional reforms. So first is the technological reforms. Now here one point comes, what is the need of all these reforms? Because the need of all these reforms was that our farmers and the agriculture areas were facing a lot of problems. Problem like small holdings, primitive methods of farming, dependency upon the monsoon, exploitation by local money lenders, natural calamities. They destroyed the agricultural area. So there were so many problems that our farmers were facing. So for the removal of all these problems, government has adopted these two reforms: technical reforms and the institutional reforms. In the technical reforms, we can say the good irrigation system, better pesticides, insecticides, hybrid seeds, important and modern tools and technologies, new technologies of farming. All these methods are used, all these reforms come under the category technological reforms. Next is the institutional reforms. Basically, institutional reforms are the programs that are running by the government to support the farmers, like green revolution, white revolution. Green revolution means in the field of agriculture. A white revolution in the field of milk production. So these types of programs are running to increase the productivity of all these things, assembling of small lands, so that the production can be increased through the radio and television broadcasting, our farmers are going to be aware regarding the latest informations and the provision, the most important provision of crop insurance, rural banking, and small scale cooperating society. These are supporting a lot to our farmers because this was the most important part of our farmers. So through these institutional reforms, government is running so many programs, and by the inputs of all these programs, we are getting the good output. Now I'm going to recall that the part which I have covered in this chapter, the number one was the cropping pattern, various types of crops, technological and the institutional reforms. So best of luck, students, for your success.